Hi, welcome my dear students. In the last videos, we have studied the continuity, how to check whether the given function is continuous or not at any given point. Well, in today's class, we are going to discuss the next part of the chapter number 5, that is differentiability, that is differentiation. Differentiation. Well, you already studied some part of it in PUC first year, that is the chapter limits and derivatives. Well, now before understanding the second year concept of differentiation, I will take back to you first year, and today's whole session will be the basics of derivatives that you have already studied in your first year. Well, so let's start with the basics. My first question to you is, as you have already studied limits and derivative in first PUC, what is derivative means, or what basically differentiation is, because you already have some idea about it. Yeah, some of you are saying something, I can't hear you, but still, well, let me give you a clear idea of what exactly differentiation is. For example, let's consider a simple function f of x is equal to 10x. Generally, we don't write f of x. We used to write y equal to 10x. This is what we used to write in 10th standard or in first PUC. Well, y equal to 10x is a simple function. This is exactly same as f of x only, no need to worry. Okay, so if I take x as, let's say, x as 10, then the value of y will be 10 times 10, which is equal to 100. If I take x as 15, let's say, so y will be 10 times 15, that will be 150. So now we can easily see that the value of y is dependent on x. I am choosing the value for x, and hence I am getting the value for y. So generally y is called as dependent variable, whereas x is called independent variable. Well, now let's understand what actually derivative means. You can see I have changed x from 10 to 15, and hence y has changed from 100 to 150. Generally, derivative means change in y. This is what change in y. It was 100 before, then it became 150. So change in y divided by change in x. Now you can easily see that 150 minus this will be 50, and this will be 5, and which will equal 10. So this 10 is called the change in y with respect to x, because I am changing x and hence y is changing, and this is what we call derivative. Derivative of y with respect to x is 10. Means if you change a little bit in x, how much amount will be changed in y. So that is called differentiation, and generally we write that is dy by dx. That means change in y with respect to change in x. Many times there are different ways to write dy by dx. Generally some people also like this, write this as f dash of x. This again same derivative only. Some people also write as d of x. This also means differentiation only. So what we understood, dy by dx is nothing but change in y divided by change in x. Change in y divided by change in x. Or you can also write this as change in dependent variable with respect to divided by change in independent variable. This is all you already studied in your first year. I just give you the idea what exactly differentiation means. So in future ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ಲಿ ವೈ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಪಾಸ್ ದ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಟು ನೋಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಡೌನ್. ವೆಲ್ ಮೈ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಈಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ. ನೌ ವಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಿಯೇಷನ್. ಇದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಿ. There are some basically four rules. There are basically four rules that we have to follow in case of differentiation. Let f of x and g of x be any two real functions, then d by dx, it means derivative of f of x plus g of x. What I mean to say is, whenever you have two different functions with addition sign and you have to do the differentiation of these both, this can be done like this: d by dx of f of x plus d by dx of g of x. Matlab, we can separately differentiate both the functions. Similarly, d by dx of f of x minus g of x can be written as d by dx of f of x minus d by dx of g of x. Now d by dx of f of x into g of x. Whenever I have two function with multiplication sign, the rule says first function you have to write as it is, then take the derivative of second function, then write plus sign, second function as it is, and derivative of first function. You have to be very careful while using this one. I'll give you example for all these things. You don't need to worry. You have already studied this one, but still I'm giving you the basics idea. Now d by dx of f of x divided by g of x. Matlab, you have two functions with division. Okay, so this is second function as it is, then d by dx of first function minus first function as it is, d by dx of second function whole divided by second function whole square. So these are the four very important rules. Let me add one more which you already know, but still d by dx of k times f of x, where k is a constant. So whenever a constant is multiplied with a function, you can take that constant out and you can write this as d by dx of f of x. This you already know, but still I'll add this as a fifth one. So these are the five different rules we have to differentiate any two or any three, any four functions. So please pause the video to note it down. Well, now let's take the example for those rules of differentiation. I hope and I'm assuming that in first year all of you have remembered the derivative of some standard functions. For example, d by dx of sin x is what? Yes, you're right, it's cos x. d by dx of cos x, yes, you are right, that is minus sin x. Similarly, we have all the set of standard functions. If you don't remember it, please open your 11th standard notes and you will get to know all the list of all standard functions we have already seen. You should have with you whenever you are solving the problems on differentiation. So let me see how those rules can be used. Now you can see I have this is a first function, this is Sanket function, and I have plus in between. So this can be done as the rule says, you can do it like this: d by dx of sin x plus d by dx of cos x. Well, as I told you, you already know the derivative of some standard functions. So derivative of sin x will be cos x and cos x will be minus sin x, and done. Isn't it simple? Yeah. Now this is d by dx of sin x minus d by dx of cos x, which is equal to derivative of sin x is cos x minus derivative of cos x will be minus sin x, and hence this will become cos x plus sin x. Why plus sign? Because negative of negative is positive. Now let's come to this third one. This is very important. This is your first function and this is second function. You have into in between. Now let me apply the third rule. What it says, you should write first function as it is, then you have to take derivative of second function, plus you have to write second function as it is, then take the derivative of first function. So if I apply the formula, this is sin x, derivative of cos will be minus sin x, plus cos x as it is, derivative of sin will be cos x. And if I solve it, I'll be getting minus sin square x plus cos square x. This will be the answer. Well, let's go to the fourth one. As we can see, it is a division. This is the first function, this is the second function. So the rule says second function as it is, then d by dx of first function minus first function as it is, d by dx of second function whole divided by second function square. So this will be cos x, derivative of sin will be again cos x minus sin x, derivative of cos will be minus sin x whole divided by cos square x. Well, let me solve this here. You can see cos into cos will be cos square x, minus of minus will be plus, this is sin square x whole divided by cos square x. And you already know the basics, that is sin square x plus cos square x will be always equal to 1. So this will be 1 divided by cos square x. And you know already one more basic, 1 by cos is nothing but, yeah, you are right, that is sec square x, and that will be your answer. As you can already see that sin by cos is nothing but tan. So derivative of tan will be sec square x, which you already know by your standard table list. So you should have with you whenever we start solving second year problems, or else you have to remember them somehow. So please pause the video to note it down. So as you can, so d by dx of k times sin x is, k will come out of, and d by dx of sin x, and this is derivative of sin x will be cos x. So this is the fifth one. Well, I hope you understood the things. Now let's move on to the next topic. Well, now let's take one more standard derivative, that is d by dx of x to the power n. This is very important. So you already know this is n times x raised to n minus 1. We are going to use this particular standard derivative many a times in our second PUC problems. For example, if I ask you what is d by dx of x square, so your answer will be 2 times x raised to 2 minus 1, which is equal to 2 times x raised to 1, which is 2x. So what if I ask you d by dx of x cube? So your answer will be 3 times x raised to 3 minus 1, that is 3 times x square. So what actually we have to do is, we have to just write this number as it is here, and you have to reduce one number from this one, and you should write here. I hope you know all these things, but still it's a basics class. I am telling you all these basics. But what if I tell you d by dx of let's say root x? Now the problem comes. No problem, it's very easy. So d by dx of, instead of root, I can write half. You already know this one. So now this is equal to 1 by 2 x raised to, So the power is 1 by 2 and I'll subtract 1. And this is equal to 1 by 2 x raised to 1 by 2 minus 1. 1 half hodre, we will get minus half, isn't it? And this we can write 1 divided by 1 to the power x. You know the basics. Whenever this comes down, the negative sign becomes positive sign, and you can write this as 1 by 2 root x. So this is very important. If at all in the future, if I ask you what is derivative of root x, you have to say 1 by 2 root x. And what if I tell you d by dx of 1 by x? So you'll ask, sir, how can I use this formula into this one? Yeah, we can. I can write this as d by dx of x raised to minus 1. How minus 1? As we all know, this will be x power 1. Whenever denominator goes to numerator, its power sign has to be changed. So this is x to the power minus 1. And again, let me apply the formula. The formula says minus 1 x to the power minus 1 and minus 1. So this is minus 1 into x to the power minus 2. Or you can write this as 1 minus 1 divided by x square. This is also very important. I'm going to use this one and this one many a times while solving problems in second year. So what is that? Derivative of root x will be 1 by 2 root x, and derivative of 1 by x will be minus 1 divided by x square. So please pause the video to note it down. Well, my dear students, I am taking one more question from 11th standard, because as I already believe, and I told you many a times, that if our basics are strong, then only we can build anything on top of it. So always remember, if at all you are learning any new chapter, the chapter which is supporting it, which was in 11th standard, first you have to be well understand those chapters. Then only we can build something on it. Okay. Well, now I have to. This is a question from 11th standard. I have to take a derivative of x minus a and x minus b. As you can see, the rule number 4. This is one function and this is one more function. So there are division. So we have to use that formula. So what that rule says? Sorry. So the rule says second function as it is and derivative of first function minus first function as it is. Sorry, this is x minus b. Second function as it is, derivative of first function minus first function as it is and derivative of second function whole divided by square of second function. Well, now let me do the differentiation. X minus b. Now you already know derivative of x. Yes, you are right. Derivative of x will be 1. You will ask, sir, how? See, derivative of x, d by dx of x, the power is 1, isn't it? Just now we solved 1 into x raised to 1 minus 1. So that will be 1 into x raised to 0. So that is nothing but 1. I hope you know this one well. Yeah, so d by dx of x will be 1. I'll write minus d by dx of constant will be 0 minus, let me write x minus a as it is. Again, now I have to do the derivative of x is again 1 minus derivative of b, which is constant, is equal to 0 whole divided by denominator square as it is. Now x minus b, 1 minus 0. No, it's not 0, it's 1. 1 minus 0 will be 1 minus x minus a. 1 minus 0 is again 1 whole divided by x minus b the whole square. If I multiply anything with 1, I'll get same thing back, minus again multiplying will give me the same thing back whole divided by x minus b the whole square. A lot of students make mistake here. They don't write this bracket and they'll come with the wrong answer. So now this is x minus b, minus sign goes inside. So this is minus x plus a whole divided by x minus b the whole square. Now we can easily see plus x minus x will cancel each other and I'll be left with a minus b whole divided by x minus b the whole square. You will ask me, sir, how you wrote a minus b? It's like minus b and plus a. It's just an adjustment. I hope all of you know that. This is how we solve the question. So please pause the video to note it down. Well, my dear students, we have one more question again from 11th standard. D by dx of one function into another function. So multiplication is there between two functions, then a very good rule number 3. So what rule number 3 says? First function as it is, 5x cube plus 3x minus 1, then derivative of second function plus second function as it is and derivative of first function. Well, now this is 5x cube plus 3x minus 1. Now derivative of this one, as we have already done, d by dx of x will be 1 minus derivative of 1 will be, yes, that is 0, plus x minus 1. Now let's take the derivative of this one. Let me make some adjustment. I hope you know that. Let's not worry about 5, okay? Let's take the derivative of x cube. Derivative of x cube will be 3x square, which we know, isn't it? But I already have 5 here. So this 3 and 5 will multiply each other. So it will be 15x square. Yes, you are right. Plus derivative of 3 times x, 3 is constant as it is. Derivative of x will be 1 and minus derivative of 1 will be 0. So this is 5x cube plus 3x minus 1. 1 minus 0 is 1, multiplied with the same thing will come same thing, plus x minus 1, and this is 15x square plus 3 will be our answer. Well, with this question I'll stop the basics of all first year derivative concepts. In the next video I'm going to tell you the exact second year portion, that is differentiation, will start in the next video. So till then, if you get some more questions from first year, then please solve them so that it will help us to go smoothly in second year differentiation chapter. Thank you.